Hi, my name is Molly Gazay, and you are listening to a Living Album Podcast, Episode 17, Solo Show. On April 19th, 2023, I was with my grandfather as he passed away. And this month, instead of doing a solo show, I wanted to talk about him. And I wanted to encourage you all to go listen to the song that I wrote for him called Not Lost on Me.
It should never be this hard, watching the desert skies, hearing words we hate to hear. Sunshine never looks so dark. Hopping on a plane to get to where you are, strong and still holding on. Fragile moments too long, and I smile that smile, and I'll hold your hand, and I'll give you that laugh, 'cause you still hold on to us driving through the desert so you could breathe, talking about a life that you used to lead, laughing at the fates for what we have till it's gone.
My grandfather, Stanley Gazay, or as some people called him, Stan the Man, or as others might have called him, the Great Gazay, which is also a nickname for one of my ancestors who were in the circus. He passed away with his wonderful, wonderful wife, Marlene, next to him, my sister Katie, and my sister Shannon, and I. For about 2 weeks before he passed away, I went out just to see how he was doing. My dad had called saying that he wasn't doing great, so I wanted to come and be there with him and, just hang out and get to chat. And when I got there, he was in great spirits, but was physically deteriorating. And I think it was about 3 days into my visit, I came in, and I think it was a Wednesday, and I looked around and I didn't see my grandpa. And I was like, oh, well, where did he go? Is he up finally? Because he had been kind of bedridden. And the nurse had said, no, he's at the hospital. And so I went to go see him at the hospital. And I stayed with him for a few days while he was there. Coming back and forth. One night I just stayed there the whole time. And eventually my sisters came out and we all took turns taking care of him, hanging out with Marlene. And on April 19th at roughly 3-ish in the morning, after a very long day of taking care of him and hanging out and listening to a lot of Frank Sinatra, he passed away. And, we haven't had the ability to really talk about him because we haven't had a funeral. And that was a part of his wish. And then about 6 months later, my grandmother on October 6th passed away. And she went very quietly, and nothing seemed to be wrong. And my dad came home to her house and found her. So they're together wherever they may be. So I guess this is kind of my eulogy to both of them, since we haven't had a funeral for them. And I was kind of debating on whether or not I wanted to release this song now, or if I wanted to wait until Samhain and Muertes. But I think April is a good time. And my grandmother, Virginia Gazay, they weren't together the entire time that I knew them. But they were really good friends. They were best friends, they talked all the time. And with Marlene, they had a great friendship. And that was wonderful. It was really refreshing to see. And my grandma Virginia and my grandfather Stan were very different people. My grandfather was very fiery and spirited and you know, talked about positive mindset and really just took a bite out of life. And my grandmother Virginia was very quiet and very demure and read books all the time. And she loved reading and she loved talking. She's from like the LA area, so you'd hear all the stories about the people she knew, about her friends. She had a great social life, and I'm really lucky that they both lived to be almost 90 years old. My grandfather passed away short of 7 months of his 90th birthday. And my grandmother, I believe, was around 87 when she passed away. And as painful as it has been to not have them here, to not be able to hear them speak, I'm really glad that I had such a long time with them, because we don't get that a lot in this world. And I consider myself incredibly lucky to have known them and to have heard them speak about their lives. And thank you for being here as I talk about them. I'm really thankful for that. And I wanted to write a song that wasn't sad necessarily. I mean, death is not my favorite. I like the idea of death and there's being something after it, but when you are really hit with it and you really face it, it's like they're there and then they're not. So I don't do well with that. I'm sure a lot of people don't. So I wanted to write a song that was happier, that wasn't sitting in the sadness, but a reflection of the process of what it feels like to not only lose someone, but to remember all the amazing things that you got to do with them. And so this song is called Not Lost on Me, as a homage to the drives that I would have with my grandfather through the desert, and us talking about life and, like I said, his positive mindset and, you know, the joy of the laughter that I heard my grandmother talk about, all the things that she had done and things that she was still doing. And I think it's a reminder to cherish everyone around you. If you have them in your life and you want them in your life, they're gonna be there, and enjoy every moment, even if it's hard. And I really hope that you enjoy the song. It was hard to write, but it was really important for me to write because I wanted a eulogy in music for them. And I wrote the song before my grandmother passed away, and I'm in the process of writing a song for her as well. Very different people. And I can see a lot of my siblings and myself in them. And I'm incredibly grateful. So, thank you. I don't like crying, and I really do not like people seeing me cry. So I'm gonna be brave and I'm gonna post this. And I hope that if you are struggling and you've had someone who's passed away, that the song helps you, and that you know that you're not alone. And if you're someone like me who doesn't like to cry in front of people or like to cry in general, then we're in it together. We are here, we're in it together. So thank you. Take care of each other, cherish each other, and thank you for being here so that I could pay homage as the light goes out to my grandparents. Thank you guys.
We were driving through the desert, you were talking to me, talking about life like it's meant to be, something that we treasure when the night is near, 'cause nothing lasts forever, my dear. You're not lost.